Welcome back to a series so delusional, even Hassan Piker subscribed. In today's video, Hassan has doubled down on his claim that he was actually broke and poor for an entire decade. Apparently his rich dad just conveniently lost all of his money. He's absolutely melting down after more chatters confront him about electrocuting his dog. The Aristotle of streamers, XQC, has responded, cooking Hassan for policing his chat. Ethan Klein has confronted a deranged Hassan fan who made a 3-hour video lying about him. She has a complete brain malfunction after Ethan points out that Hassan is a degenerate creep. Music artist BBno Money is facing backlash for throwing Ethan from Ace 3 under the bus to appeal to the woke mob. Asmongold and Trainwrecks are calling out Twitch's selective enforcement regarding a bunch of issues. QT has responded to the FaZe drama, saying she's still open to collaborating with Vanilla Mace, the friend who backstabbed her. Subscribe, or you become the pickle guy from SpongeBob.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, so last time, Hassan was lying to everyone, talking about how he actually grew up broke and he's actually so relatable, and people immediately debunked this.
Because I was dead broke and was critiquing capitalism, and then people would be like, yeah, because you're a fucking loser. When you grow up affluent, as I did, right?
Father was on board of a $4 billion company. Mom is a commercial landlord, hired by his uncle's network right out of college. Young Hassan living the broke life. Right, so now he's changing his story, saying he was only broke after college for a whole decade. Hassan says his family went broke when he got to college, and he was broke for a decade post-college. So a chatter said, grow up in poverty? Really, Hassan? Is there more to that story, or are you lying, brother?
I said I was broke because my parents, my dad, went broke by the time I got to college. And I was broke for the first decade almost, post-college. Now, I'm fortunate enough to be able to take care of my family. You didn't see headlines. You saw a fucking viral tweet, brother. Don't act like you read any fucking headlines. You actually just saw a viral tweet. That's what you saw. I never said I fucking grew up in poverty. As a matter of fact, I've openly stated that I grew up fairly affluent in Turkey.
Right, so we're having another shock collar moment here where Hassan's storytelling skills aren't exactly the best, and he's desperately trying to change his story into something that makes sense, right? So he said he was dead broke and only now he's rich, right? So any reasonable person would assume that you meant you were broke in the past and now you are rich, and you're not exactly 60 years old, you're 34, so people will obviously think that you're saying you grew up broke. Now let's examine his correction here. So your parents were broke when you got to college conveniently, right? Somehow your billionaire dad just lost all his money. Your relatives, apparently your uncle was also broke despite starting the Young Turks like way earlier as well. Your entire family was conveniently broke, right? In order for this whole victim story to work. Now, he also says that he was broke 10 years post-college. So an entire decade where Hassan was just living in poverty, it seems like. And I really love the internet detectives to fact check that one. And the thing is, he keeps digging deeper in all these situations. The thing is, you can't really lie on the internet because people will find out the truth, okay? Because you've probably said something somewhere that you probably shouldn't have. And this is why you don't explicitly lie. It's the same thing with the shock collar. He got caught and then he tried to change his story 10 different times and it just didn't work. Right, so then he just calls everyone stupid and says they're being duped by AI articles.
I cannot believe how fucking stupid everyone is on the internet. That like things that I have openly talked about endlessly turn into this idiotic back and forth. They're like, oh, were you lying? Were you lying about growing up in poverty? When the fuck did I say I grew up in poverty? I didn't. I said I was broke in college and after college. I hate this shit. I hate how stupid everyone is. I hate that, like, you can't even have a fucking normal conversation about this shit. And I hate that, like, AI articles are enough to dupe.
Yep, you totally got it, man. Everybody is just stupid. You're the only genius here. Apparently, everybody is just reading AI articles and not just listening to the words coming out of this guy's mouth. In fact, people are just going off what you literally told them, right? If you actually wanted to be honest and clear up all of the misinfo going around, then why wouldn't you just tell your entire financial situation and provide proof for it, right? But obviously, he's got to keep up with his own lies, right? That's why he's never clear about anything. He will leave it as vague as humanly possible so then he can have plausible deniability regarding everything, right? The same thing with the shot collar. All you had to do was show the model, show the receipt of purchasing the model, all of that, remove the tape on the day, but he chose not to because he's a big fat liar, right? So he got community noted. Hassan graduated a 4-year degree in 2013. In 2010, after enrolling at one of the most expensive cities and universities, he famously visited a German brothel, while his mom also went to college and had rentals. Premium education, vacations, and escorts aren't exactly broke. And then we've got like the evidence linked here. People responded they on his ass again. Bro, these community notes are absolutely cooking him. He's gonna be like, Elon Musk, stop it right now. Stop it. Watching this dude constantly meltdown is so freaking entertaining. Keep up the great work, internet. And if you want a perfect documentation of the meltdowns, subscribe to the most legendary series in the universe. I hate it when I grow up with my horseback riding affluent real estate empire parents and then suddenly go broke for a decade and then have to settle for college abroad and then an easy job doing a red pill grift show with my uncle, who also happens to own the largest leftist media network. And this was years before Hassan's streaming career. Hassan, I never had much as a kid, just wealthy parent stability in a mansion and a thriving landlord business for me to inherit. Useless crap like that. Hassan was eating good. Yes, he's got the fucking size. Right, so Asman responded,
I never said I fucking grew up in poverty.
Okay, I said the same shit when I was poor. Okay, well, I was saying this shit when I was poor. When I was poor and I defended socialism. I said that when I was poor. When I was poor, I like nice things. I buy nice things. When I was poor, I wanted to buy nice things because I was dead broke. When I was dead broke.
Gentlemen, a quick query. Do you mayhaps happen to know anyone flat broke and destitute, yet somehow with the means to spend his leisure strolling about golf courses?
Jesus Christ.
I make like, 10-year doctor or like, law firm partner money. Okay.
For the record, at an absolute minimum, he makes that amount every month.
It's going to be pretty hard for people to think that you had it hard at all whenever you're rich now and there's a bunch of photos of you in a suit jacket playing polo as a kid on a horse, all right? It's just not going to play very well. You can't have photos like that and not think this. I mean, let's be real.
Like, who cares? Okay, I'm a capitalist. You got me. Like, how about you worry about your own capital? Get your money up, not your funny up. Big dog.
So they went from tens of millions to dead broke without an explanation of what happened. Seems very convenient to me. And then somehow got back up to tens of millions, clearly pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. Dude, it trickled down. How many times have I told you this? You're a 69-month sub. Guys, you gotta get your story straight. Come on. We as the Hassanabi heads, we need to get our story straight for LSF and the Brigaders. He cannot manage to give a single financial detail regarding anything to do with his past and his family's wealth. What does he mean when he says they supposedly went broke? With him being broke meant during college? What does it mean growing up fairly affluent in Turkey? He could say my dad was making around X money at this company and my mom's real estate pulled in this much. His continued vagueness, despite the ease of which he could explain it, is to deflect from the fact that he's a literal Nepo anchor baby trust fund college kid. Because he knows it's BS. That's pretty much the case. Like, obviously, if you give actual numbers, then you can easily be debunked, right? So that's why he wants to keep it so vague so that he can change the story and be like, no, I was actually broke then. Oh no, I was actually broke then, right? I started with a small loan of $1 million. No way. No way he's actually the thing he hates the most, bro. Moving on to Hassan absolutely raging that somebody brought up his dog again. Collargate will never leave Hassan, forever known as the dog zapper. Hassan gets stun locked after chatter brings up that he electrocuted his dog.
No, I'm not letting you get away with this. Enough of this shit. Enough of this fucking, you literally do that. Give me an example, dickhead. And if I was wrong, or if I wronged someone, if I actually gave false information, because I got duped by a fucking AI article, I'll apologize. Go ahead. Don't try to bait me. Explain exactly what you mean. This is the type of shit that I hate so much. It's always vague posting. You do that too. First of all, even if I did do that, would that be appropriate? When your dog got electrocuted, you spun the fact that it wasn't a buzzer? It's not! Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. That's not even a counter example. You fucking idiot. Come on, man.
I want to be one of
What do
these
you mean,
guys that
come
tells
on,
you
man? What do you mean, come on, man?
exactly what's
I can't
going to
entertain
happen.
your
if
fucking
something
delusions,
happens. The other
dipshit.
side knows, but I'm not somebody that tells you.
Dude, you can't be serious. Bro is still denying that he zapped his dog like Zeus. You just can't make this shit up, dude. After everything, after all of the detective work, the overlays, finding the exact model, finding the remote, multiple instances lining up, bro still cannot admit it. It's still some excuse like the dew claw got stuck, I'm reaching for the Zin, it's a dog gate button, guys. Like, none of it makes sense. He knows it doesn't make sense, yet he still continues to double down. These are your own subscribers, your own followers calling you out, man. At a certain point, isn't it easier to just admit the truth? Isn't it easier to just admit wrongdoing? Just last video, he's like, I always admit when I'm wrong. I frequently admit when I'm wrong. Literally can never do it. Never. And my question to him is like, how do you sleep at night being this much of a pathological liar? It's crazy. It's crazy. Does he have like a Google document of like all of his lies so that he can keep up with it? Because I would legitimately get lost. I'd be like, wait, what did I say before? Wait, what did I say before? He's probably watching my series in order to keep up with his lies. He's like, oh shit, okay, so I made these excuses, so okay, next time I gotta make sure my story's in line with these excuses again, right? I'm actually helping him. It's crazy. Also, Hassan calling anyone a dickhead is hilarious, bro. Here you are looking like Pinhead Larry, melting down at chatters and being an absolute dickhead. Pure responded, imagine him in a court trial. Hassan, you are accused of crime. Eats. You're delusional. That's your statement. Eats more. Whatever, bro. The fact that he's stuffing his face is actually hilarious. He's truly embracing his inner Pokemon, you know, to eat that fucking salad while you're letting the video play. Your Honor, I know this evidence looks bad, but look at the hundreds of hours of her sitting in one spot behind me. She's freaking spoiled. Hassan with the cut image. No, they found the remote. No, I'm in a private jet. Gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss. The classic Hassan Piker strategy. Does this dude just sit on stream eating and yelling at people? That's all I ever see of him. He shocks his dog sometimes. True. There's a lot of variety in a Hassan Piker stream, of course. We got the pirate software image. At this point, that is him. He's literally just doubling down, refusing to admit he's wrong. Moving on to XQC cooking Hassan.
Go ahead. Don't try to bait me. Explain exactly what you mean. This is the type of shit that I hate so much. It's always vague posting. You do that too. First of all, even if I...
Well, they vague post because if they say anything that's not vague post, they get banned though. I mean, you gotta say, if they say dog or dog tased, they get insta-perma. I mean, I don't blame them, dude. Like, they have, if they want to have a dialogue, they have to speak in code. Like, dude, you made it this environment, man. Come on, man.
Did do that. Would that be appropriate? When your dog got electrocuted, you spun the fact that it wasn't a buzzer? It's not! Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
GG.
48 months.
Seven,
Finally hit 4
hey,
years,
hey, buddy,
that
hey, buddy, hey, buddy. Spoken code, got attention, spoken real words. That's it. North Korean coming. Hey, see you in Valhalla, buddy. You're done.
Dude, honestly, being in Hassan's chat is like an episode of Squid Game, right? Where the rules are, you get nuked if you mention Asmon, Ethan, Destiny, Swaptubers, or his dog, right? Or now like 15 other things, right? It's just adding to the list. And you basically stand no chance. He's got the lasers ready. He's got the death rays ready. Red light, green light. The mods are on deck, ready to glaze, ready to ban. Like loyal soldiers, and if they don't, they get the shot collar, of course. He didn't ban him because he's one of the few subs he has left. At this point, yeah, he's like, what is he gonna do? Ban his 57-month subscribers? At that point, like, if somebody's supporting you for 5.5 years and they're calling you out, you gotta listen to them at least a little bit, you know? Moving on to Ethan calling out Taylor Lorenz for simping for Hassan again. Basically, Zoran Mamdani, New York City mayoral candidate, disavowed Hassan because of his 9/11 comments, right?
America deserved 9/11, dude.
The Assemblyman will not denounce Hassan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. The Assemblyman just said in his response,
I find the comments that Hassan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible. In this country is we are looking only to speak to journalists and
Taylor responds, the 9/11 thing is so funny because I promise you the vast amount of New Yorkers do not give a frick about 9/11. It has been relegated to just another horrific event in American history. You can't outrage bait over it like it's 2003. Any New Yorker Yorkers agree 9/11 was NBD. You can tell she only talks to people below the age of 18. She only talks to Roblox kids for her journalist stories, of course. I need to cover the Roblox protest guy. Moving on to an interesting observation, the H3 subreddit noticed something funny about Taylor Lorenz and Hassan Piker's travel plans. Tweeted less than an hour apart, Hassan tweets, in New York City till Thursday, and then DC. Taylor Lorenz, #1 Hassan simp, in New York City this week until Thursday, then headed to Washington, D.C. Interesting. Very interesting. Hassan, just a warning, I would watch out, all right? I would watch out for an unhinged cat lady heading in your direction. So which one wears the collar? You never know. Lorenz being piked right now. Stop. I don't want to imagine that. Posted 1 hour after him, stalker vibes. That is just diabolical. So he's going to cheat on Valkyrie with Taylor Lorenz. Oh my god. Taylor, woman who constantly says she fears for her life because of an insane stalker, tweeting where she is, where she's going, and when she's going there. Interesting, doesn't seem like she's too concerned. Moving on to Ethan Klein confronting a deranged Hassan fan who made a 3-hour video on him, completely lying and misrepresenting everything, and she gets exposed as an absolute hypocrite here. H3 asks Hassan fan if she also thinks Hassan is a PDF file when questioned about his old Reddit account. Right, so context, she was calling out Ethan for his old Reddit account where he was making a bunch of jokes, but she didn't call out Hassan for his old jokes.
From my experience, jokes can sometimes not be jokes at all.
Just to be clear, we're talking about 15-year-old Reddit account with troll in the title.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't know you as a person. This is me covering situations and just seeing a lot of jokes
you actually
being made.
glazed up Hassan pretty hard. I mean, at one point, even way more recently than me, he has videos saying he always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut, and he says old enough to count, old enough to mount. Hassan said that like 6 years after my Reddit account was inactive.
Yeah, and if he said that, I think that's pretty fucked up,
So I expect should I expect a video about how he's a pedophile? Do you think Hassan is a pedophile? Now that I've told you?
I would have to see more clips and context, but...
Anyway, here it is.
We discussed the legendary question of all time, old enough to count, old enough to mount, question mark? I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a class.
I mean, is this a pedophile trying to groom people?
I think in general, I mean, I don't fuck with the camel toe jokes. I don't think that's cool.
What about the pedophile jokes?
Yeah, I mean, how old was she at the time?
Well, Hannah Montana. I mean,
how old would she have been?
She was like 14 in the show. Or no,
Yeah,
he said he always knew she was a little slut.
Yeah.
About a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You said jokes aren't just jokes, right? So I mean, Hassan is a grooming pedophile.
Again, that's not cool at all.
Yeah.
Again, my main criticism
I don't think he's a
with
pedophile for the record.
Oh my god, dude. She's literally malfunctioning in real time. So Ethan is not allowed to make jokes 15 years ago. But Hassan just gets the pass, right? He's obviously joking, guys. But when Ethan does it, he's obviously serious. Also, what about the fact that Hassan has his fans send him nudes? And he literally encouraged that on stream as well.
Okay, all of these are dudes now. I used to exclusively get fucking like titty pics and shit on my Snapchat, and now it's just dudes. This is terrible. What happened? I ruined it. I should have never mentioned my Snapchat.
He literally shows it to his friends and laughs on multiple occasions. Also, he can't even verify the age of these pictures as well, right? So it is extremely weird shit. In fact, half of the unhinged shit that he says aren't even jokes, right? This dude is literally just a degenerate creep. But of course, these people are so snug-brained, they will only go after Ethan because that's the popular opinion among the woke mob on the internet who relentlessly bully and harass people, right? And she literally just appears extremely dumb, extremely brainless, right? So then she randomly brings up trauma to deflect, and then Ethan points out her hypocrisy.
A lot of the people where that would end up, sexually assaulting me when I was underage would, continually push those jokes onto me again and again and again and again. And I would write it off, you know, because I think my trauma response is fawn. And so I would continue to write it off and be like, oh, you know, they're just joking. That's all, you know. I guess I wanted to ask, you know, why did you use those jokes?
While I agree that those jokes were gross and immature and inappropriate for any time, you know, jokes that, by the way, I don't make today, right? I admit that they are really gross and immature. But I also think, like, if you look at it, that it's clear that it's so clear that I'm kidding around and not actually being serious there. And frankly, if you look at that account, like 90% of it is me talking about StarCraft. Just generally speaking, a troll is someone who's insincere, right? And just looking to get a rise out of you by saying whatever. You know, it's made with the clear intention of playing a character, a troll character, right? That's in the name.
I mean, yeah.
I don't stand by those comments, though. And people are totally justified to point it out and say it's gross and cringe and stuff, but I don't think that it's fair to say it implies anything other than that, unless you're willing to go on record and say Hassan Piker is a pedophile groomer, which I don't believe he is, for the record.
Sorry, also I just keep staring at like this stain on my couch and it's bugging me so much.
What, the white one?
I'm like, I didn't really the empty one. There's like a tiny stain there that's bugging me.
Wow. Great point, Ethan. Great point, Ethan. But what about this chair, though? What about this chair? Can we actually talk about the chair right now? I can't believe we're talking about a genocide when we could be talking about this chair right now. You actually cannot make this shit up. Average Hassan Piker fan right there. Not a single coherent thought in that head. You're actually like talking about some important shit here, and then you immediately go, but what about this chair, though? Like, what the fuck did I just witness there, man? You know you got caught. You know you got caught bullshitting and not having an equal standard across the board, and then you try to deflect in any which way. You brought up some random trauma, then you brought up a chair, man. Oh my god. Like, how are you this stupid? This has to be an actual achievement. Guinness, where you need to ring up Guinness immediately and collect your world record for being the dumbest bit. And this is exactly how the average Hassan Piker fan operates, right? Completely devoid of logic and thinking, just sort of going with whatever the mob is telling her, whatever the Messiah Hassan is telling her. I don't know. I just find this pathetic as shit. You know what I'd love to see is a Taylor Lorenz interview, and then she has to respond to all of Hassan's sort of infractions and all of his fucking misogynist statements and shit like that. I wonder how she'll react. I imagine she won't even be as terrible as this person here who, you know, at least tries to deflect but sort of acknowledges that, okay, this is pretty bad too. Taylor will probably just be like, well, it was out of context. It was out of context. I actually was a big fan of Hassan back then as well. I've been stalking him for a decade, you see, and he probably had some good intentions. Especially when he was receiving nudes from his fans. You know, it was an opportunity for me to get to know him. I hope he saw mine. Her brain broke after watching the video. Oh no, my NPC programming. There's a glitch. People forget how unhinged people were for shock humor back in the day, hence why so many famous people got their 2010s era's social media post-purge. Shock humor, got 'em. The thing is, they don't have consistent beliefs. They, like Hassan, they don't know or like Ethan or Destiny or Moist, who the snarky community tried to attack after he covered the Kaya situation. That's it. They like their creator and will back him up regardless because they get comforted by his content. They believe Ethan is a PDF file because Hassan said so, or the snarky community said so, but they don't believe in it because of the evidence. The reasoning they give is just a defense mechanism for their blind faith. It's like when extremely religious people explain away inconsistencies with their religion's logic or teachings when presented with it. It's fanaticism, cult-like behavior. That's what I've been saying all this time. There's just no thinking going on. And that's why you need to want some Pegasus, okay? Some logic in your life, my god. Her channel is Cruel World Happy Mind. In a second video, she apologized for what she said about Israel-Palestine, and then said she was and is a massive Hassan fan, and went on to say Ethan, an American, was programmed from birth to believe in Israeli ideals due to him being Jewish. What? This last part is actually what triggered Ethan and led to all of this. My god. Moving on to BBno Money. Now, last time, if you remember, he threw Asmongold under the bus and removed him from his music video and tried to censor him because he was too controversial. But obviously, he also has no problem with any of the other controversial people there. He also hangs out with Hassan, who's apparently not controversial. Now, I first sort of heard of him when he collabed with Charlie on that music video, other than the La 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 video, of course, but I thought it was really cool. I think his music is pretty good sometimes, right? And he even followed me on Twitter and stuff. I don't know if he's actually into commentary stuff or he's just trying to and like message every creator at the same time. I can't really tell. But since then, I also learned that he has these sort of cringe pandering tweets where he just tweets generic stuff to get likes, kind of like Valkyrie, where like, oh, F everything, right? We hate PDF files. We love gay people. Like, yeah, we get it, man. And now we're starting to see more of that behavior. BBno Money says F Ethan Klein.
Ethan, you know Crank Gameplays?
Yeah.
Like Ethan, not Klein.
Nestor.
Ethan Klein.
Hey, 6'7",
6'7".
bro.
Yeah, Ethan Nestor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Ethan Nestor
sorry,
rules.
Ethan.
Yeah, great guy.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, you're so brave and cool, man. You got the right political opinion. Nice one. We're totally all gonna buy your music now. Like, it's just out of nowhere for absolutely no reason. BBno Money used to post an Ace2 subreddit just a few years ago. I wonder what changed. What changed was that he met like the woke side of the internet, and now he's just, I don't know, very pandering. Remember when this guy did Hassan's TwitchCon show and was painfully unfunny? That got canned so fast. I didn't even know this was a thing. I thought he was funny at first, but then he kept running his mouth and it evolved. Bro, you make meme music. Like, the music's not bad. I'm not gonna diss his music. I heard the one with Charlie and that was pretty cool. The lyrics are crazy though. Lyrics are crazy, but like the, you know, beat and everything's pretty nice. The guy who historically takes the easiest and safest takes of all time and panders as hard as possible says, F Ethan Klein, guys. Guess Hassan must have put a shock collar on him too. So Ethan responded and reacts to BBno Money saying F Ethan Klein. BBno Money has been begging me for a collab for a while. I've always found his desperate need for attention from influencers to be pathetic and cringe, so I've never responded. Sorry that I upset you, buddy. Damn. He's a clout leech from hell. Dude does anything to get fame out of anyone. Did the same shit to Asmon. Whatever the popular opinion is, he goes along with. Spineless little dweeb. Moving on to Destiny, out in public doing his version of the Charlie Kirk debate thing. Destiny's life flashes before his eyes.
That's incredible. Can I shake your hand though? Come on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't kill me.
Okay, well, first off, I don't know why anyone is debating this guy, but he openly admits to liking minors and 15-year-olds. Bro is extremely deranged and he needs to get back in his cell with Cockroach Hassan. But regardless, I think Destiny is pretty crazy for actually going out here and doing this shit. This guy is on camera saying he wants conservatives dead and wants to genocide half the country.
I'm ready for the great cleansing, dude. When we genocide conservatives in this country.
I would think a lot of people don't like those comments. And of course, some of those people are going to be extreme lunatics after him as well. So yeah, I just wouldn't do this or whatever anymore, especially after those incidents. You know, brave for him to do this or whatever. But yeah, I hope he stays safe. Obviously, I want any sort of due process to be done through the law and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely wear like a bulletproof vest and have security and shit like that. But yeah, this is just nuts. Didn't he encourage the death of people on the right? Yeah, I mean, that is a thing. If I act scared, maybe people think both sides are doing it. I mean, there's always still a danger. Considering recent events, that reaction isn't unreasonable. He should have a proper security team there. I don't agree with the guy just saying. Cockroach Hassan, Silicon Destiny. This needs to be in every post of Hassan and Destiny every time. Moving on to Asmongold and Trainwrecks talking about Twitch and their selective enforcement. Asmon thinks Twitch could have a whitelist.
They targeted everyone but the main culprits. Like all the main view botters who have completely destroyed the viewership ecosystem of what a real viewer is worth and what it takes to grow a real viewership completely went untouched. And I would even go as far as got endorsed by Twitch or Dan Clancy. Like when that happened, I realized, holy shit, this is literally in every way, in regards to drama, in regards to
I think that my conspiracy theory is that Twitch has a whitelist where certain accounts are not penalized by the different systems that they use in order to remove lurkers and remove theoretical view bots. So that's what I think Twitch is doing, is that they have this system that's, because I think it's a blanket system that certain people are omitted from. So basically, because I mean, whenever they made this change, basically every single person saw a pretty big viewership drop, right? And at least at the beginning they did. And I think that it also affected very small streamers too. So that implies that it wasn't really being done as a targeted thing towards, like, let's say me, or towards Mizkif, or towards Hassan, or somebody like that. I think this was a blanket change. And then Twitch then made a whitelist of people who they don't think are viewbotting, or for some reason they don't want to rate limit what their viewership is, and then they don't apply those restrictions to that person. Because that's the only way that I can understand that 95% of the entire website, top to bottom, was nerfed, except for like a select group of people. And I think that almost all of the people that were, in my opinion, not limited at all and didn't see any decline were all people that I would say Twitch would want to represent them, right? They have, relatively very clean brand images, etc. And because of that, I think that's probably what happened. I don't know. I'm guessing. But if I'm reverse engineering intents, like somebody's goals, what the behavior was, that's kind of what makes sense to me.
Hello, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy here. Back again, ass Mongold. We need to stop meeting like this. What's that? You think I have a whitelist? That's pretty racist, buddy. Not accurate at all. You fool! Isn't it obvious? It's actually my gooning list, of course. I have several creators on my gooning list, and they are whitelisted, of course. I must maintain their viewership. And by creators, I mean my gooning material. Wait, what's that? Hassan's birthday is coming up? I'll get right on that with a special video right for him. Don't open it in public, Hassan. Whoopsie, assman, gotta go. My queen, Extra Emily, is live. Toodaloos. Dan the Diddler Clancy out. Okay, guys, I've called the FBI. They are on the case. Hopefully no more possessions. Fingers crossed. Dan is going down. By the way, I still can't get over the Nina Lynch situation, man. Like, how did they give her a one-day ban, bro? That was insane, man. Like, it's just so obvious Twitch is completely incompetent. Shut them down immediately. Moving on to QT. So last time her friend Vanilla Mace backstabbed her, supporting the woke mob, trying to cancel her for being friends with the FaZe guys who made some jokes that they thought they were homophobic, right? Now she says that she's still open to collabing with her.
Will you ever collab with Vanilla again? Hopefully someday, but that is up to her. But I still love her very much.
Wrong answer. This is the people you actually cut off, not your dad for making a joke and not your friends for poking fun at something, but so-called friends who don't stand by you when things get tough, right? This is someone you actually cut off because she's not worth it. She betrayed you after you welcomed her into the streaming community, right? You're just gonna get backstabbed again and again because it's clear that she only cares about herself, right? I'm all for the I have no enemies arc or whatever, but some people don't deserve it, okay? This is an anime, all right? Everyone's not just magically gonna become a good person. Sometimes you gotta be a little realistic. Zero self-respect, chick threw you to the dogs and you're willing to take her back. That's not being a bigger person, that's being regarded. These backstabbers need to be punished, not rewarded. There's a 4D chess move by QT. She knows this makes Vanilla Mace look bad. She's like, social climber, I hope her career is ruined. I mean, if this is like a 4D move to like appear like a good person, I mean, I don't know if they go that far. Now click this video for a level 99 bidoof. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.